Clapping now.
There we go.
I was uploading my Instagram, you peanut.
Oh, it's been some time since we've been here, Brett. It's been some time.
It's been that long. I haven't got my thing on the wall anymore because that came off.
Oh yeah, your apparently soundproof room is no longer soundproof. What happened?
It was meant to be soundproof, but now it's all gone. It's all gone funky.
What happened to it? It was falling off. Hey, did you eventually just decide that you know what? It's not.
Oh, I kind of gave it a good old rip. You know when you're down a couple of kills in a game and you just kind of have to exert some energy.
Oh, is that what happened?
I'm gonna have to repaint this wall, mate. That's what I'm saying. It has been a while.
Why am I not
Bloody
surprised?
hell. What? 2-3 weeks?
2 weeks. 2 weeks. We took 2 weeks off.
Hell.
Yeah.
The amount of masturbating I've had to do to
Mate.
get down this few weeks, mate.
Mate, being home alone,
Tons
mate.
of it.
Hey?
No, not alone. I bloody hope I am. I live alone. If I'm not alone, I'm masturbating. Someone else in my room with me. That's funky. Get involved. Pipe up. But yeah, we were preparing for this a couple of weeks ago, and then a lot of kind of things happened, wasn't it? So,
it is what it is.
Yeah. But it is what it is. I mean, we're at that situation where it's kind of like, hey, you know, this is just a situation that we can't get out of right now.
Yeah.
And we were saying before the podcast, we're not going to go massively into this, but, you know, we do have to bring it up, you know. So basically, if we'll go into a little bits about ourselves and what we've done, I guess. Like, myself, I kind of went through a lot of anxiety and a lot of realizations that I didn't like. And that kind of restricted me, both on YouTube and with doing this. But we both say at the end of the day, whenever we do this podcast, it's purely because we want to. We're going to be okay to do it. You know? We have to be okay to do it. We're not going to just chuck it on there and bake it through because at the end of the day, people want to be like having fun with it. So that's the main thing of it, is just to chill out. So yeah, lots of realities. You know, not being able to come back to Australia is a massive thing on my mind at the moment. But pursuing through it.
The day will come, bro. Like, I know it's hard. Like, we talked about this, and that's why we're taking it. We took a break for a bit because it does have huge effects as, you know, COVID. Obviously, we spoke about it many times on the podcast how, you know, your coming to Australia was a huge part of my year.
A big getaway.
And it was and it was a massive year, like, getaway for you, and then to have to go back to the UK in such a shit time. And have to, like, you know, stay alone and go through that. And then you want to come out to Australia and having to physically have to wait for that day. You know, it is shit, man. It is shit.
Sucks ass. Because I should be there right now with you. We should be getting drugs. Getting absolutely fucking pegging shit. Like, we should be doing all the fun shit. But
like the old butt plug against the wall last time you were out here. But
butt plug darts. Can't wait for that. That's good. That's the one. It's been tough, man. Yeah, it's been tough. I think everyone is in the same thing with it. You know, everyone is pretty tough. But the whole, like, I see you all the time. I see, like, what you guys get to do in Australia and how you guys are having fun. I'm just kind of like, hey, I'm in these walls right now.
Yeah.
You know? But in the, you know, we've been looking for. We always talk. You know, even if we haven't done this podcast, we're always talking. You know. We always talk shit. Sometimes we talk too much and we go, hold on. That's podcast material.
It's weird how our life turns out now. It's like, you know, we sit there and talk like, shit, we should talk about it on the podcast. We shouldn't be talking about this now. And we hold our conversations until the podcast, and then it's like, fuck. So, you know, before we started the podcast,
we forget about it and have to jot it all up again.
Yeah, that's true. We did mention before, like, we do take breaks because there's the whole idea of the podcast was to you know, talk about things and enjoy it and have a good hour of just, you know, a good vibe between us and a guest or whoever's here, and just enjoy it. The last 2 weeks hasn't been that way, and we both agreed that, you know, I was really busy with business. You were really busy with your own YouTube channel. And of course, you were just trying to get out of the house and do things rather than be locked up and do more recording, which is, we totally get it. And we've always said from the start that this podcast would only be done when we feel up to it. And of course, we're not going to force anything. So for those who are still listening and continue watching the podcast, we still love you. We'll still keep doing it. And that way, you know that each podcast is going to be, you know, 100%. And
it's going to be on point. You know, we're not going to release you shit.
Yeah.
So
we try not to.
But with that in mind, we have found some things to talk about. We really want to talk about this one thing last week. Did we talk about this one first? I feel like I feel like it's a really good one to go into.
Yeah, all right. Let's just kick it off with that. Let's do it.
So, what was it? Roughly 3 weeks ago, I think we were looking on Garry Newman's page.
Yeah.
But before we go into all this is not to have any kind of like negatives or anything. We just found this incredibly fucking funny.
It's an insane thing. Yeah.
He's got a blog on there at the top of his thing. It's like Garry.tv, and it's literally like a blog of his own personal stuff he goes through. But some of it's really personal, and some of it's really boring, but most of it's really fucking funny.
I think we need to like go back through really quickly and clarify with the viewers real quick about. So Garry Newman, for those who don't know, is the developer of Garry's Mod and also the developer of Rust, right?
He's big in, I don't know if he owns Facebook Studios, but yeah, he's very big up in it.
Yeah. So he must have been talking about a Rust update 3 weeks ago, and I clicked on his channel, and I was like, you know, who is Garry Newman as a person? I just wanted to check out his Twitter page. Came across he had his own website, and I was like, I was curious to go onto it. We happened to be in the call at the same time together when I found it, and I said, bro, you won't believe what I've just found. It's a blog website that Garry has been uploading to since 2002. And it goes all the way back 18 years of his life. Wow. And he puts in blogs almost like some of the years he's put in like one or two blogs, and then some years there's like 58 different blog titles. And then he went into a big period, I think between 2011 to 2015, where he blogged and wrote down a lot of the stuff he was doing with Rust, which has been insane to read back through those articles. So if you guys are interested and want to check us out, go check out Garry Newman's Twitter page, and you'll see there it'll be
We'll put it in the description as well, because it is really good to read. It's a really good read, especially if you're into like all of that stuff. But
yeah.
Holy fuck, there are some things in here, man.
There's a couple of titles that really caught our eye that we had to read, and we were really blown away that he's actually wrote these. So
he's super open about it, and it's great.
It's awesome.
I mean, you follow his Twitter. I mean, yesterday I think he said something like 38 years of going and having shits, and I still managed to get it on my fingers. This dude's worth so much money, and he's got so much like success, but he talks like talks like a kid sometimes, and I love it.
Yeah, it is
hilarious.
It is absolutely awesome. I think there was a couple of titles that you wanted to talk about, Brett. Is that right?
So what we did beforehand, I really wanted us to kind of find a couple of titles just to like have a look at that we thought was quite funny. So I've got one that's called "My Feet Are Fucked." That's actually his title. The other one is "Kitchen Wank," and the other one's "Fatty." And we'll go for "My Feet Are Fucked" because this one is just purely the way this is just purely Garry. So
yeah,
it goes Friday, July 31st, 2020. They hurt when I stand up after sitting down for a while or when I get out of bed. After a minute, they're stretched out and they feel like normal feet. I only realised recently how fucked they are. Before that, I thought it was something else that affected everyone. I think they've slowly gotten worse over the last few years, and now they're to the point where the doorbell goes and I'm struggling to get to the door in time. I think it's a snowball effect too. Like, I'll ask one of the kids to fetch me the remote so I don't have to get up and have to hurt my feet. I'm guessing it's a combination of being a fat prick and sitting on my arse all day. I've been trying to stretch them out whenever I remember about it, but I think it's doing more harm than good and should probably be freezing them or heating them instead. How does that make the vlog?
It's very interesting. He's a very interesting guy, man. He the way he talks about things, it just doesn't give a fuck. He blogs, like, there's hundreds of different titles. Like, we've just picked out a couple, but there's like 100 titles that he's just gone in about his everyday life. I mean, there's ones in about his kids. You mentioned how he's a fat prick. There's ones in there about... Like,
he quoted that. I didn't call him a fat prick.
I know. He did, yeah. And there's ones about him losing weight. You know.
Yeah, there's loads of them. There's one about... It's all over the shop, and it's great because there's talks about his it talks about his house, just his career, other stuff. There's a quiz on there. So it's not a quiz I can do. It's a Unity quiz. I'd rather suck shit. But you know, I just love that. At what point do you need to go? You know what? I have serious health concerns. This is going on the blog. You know, like, my feet are fucked. I better tell the world about this.
There's no structure to his blog, which is hilarious. It goes from like one thing about a certain game or Rust, or I'm working on, you know, this new update, or For instance, there's one about rust legs. You know, I'm bringing in rust legs into the game. He talks about how he's trying to find a way to bring in legs into the game of Rust. And then the next one's about having sex in VR. So, you know, there's...
He's a dad to have.
he's quite the guy, I tell you what. Do you want to go into another one of yours?
Yeah? Okay, so this one's good. This one's fatty. So it's like a graph of basically he goes, I've gotten fatter every year for the past 5 years. I've had spurts of trying to lose weight every 6 months or so, and they last about a month, and then I'm back on the fat train. Then here's a graph, which looks like he's got it from like one of his little wristwatches things, which is...
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, I think I remember him putting this on Twitter and being like, today's the heaviest I've ever been. Like, some kind of milestone.
Imagine being on like a weight loss program for 6 months and then turn around the end of it like, I've never been more fat in my life.
I've given it so much time and I'm still fucking huge. And just the way he writes, so he goes, looking at this graph, which is this fat thing, made me realise what a useless cunt I am. Every dip that goes back up soon afterwards represents a failure. If I'd have stuck to it, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Then he has 8 things that he listed from his failures. 1, stop eating as much. Quality one to start off with.
Yeah, fasting.
Eat what you want and do exercise doesn't work. Don't eat after 7 p.m. Sugar makes you hungry. Microwave meals. Just microwave meals. No snacks. Enjoy feeling hungry and weigh yourself every day.
I'm one for microwave meals only because I don't have much time to cook food. Like I either get microwave food or...
I back that. Like I would say that I'm a super kind of person who looks after themselves. Like I go to the gym, I exercise every single day. I don't eat good, but I also look good, you know, as in physically, and I feel good, you know. I've reduced carbonated drinks as well and other little things in my life, which has been really helpful. But I back microwave meals. Like people who say, oh yeah, microwave meals, they're trash. I'm like, well, if you get a good made microwave meal or an oven cooked microwave meal, you're essentially giving someone some bit of money to say, hey, I don't want to spend time making this. Can you make this for me?
Yeah.
And then they make it. And then you put it in, they bang it out and it tastes good, you know? I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it as, you know, it's lazy, but at the same time, if you're super busy, how can you be lazy if you always got something going on?
That was like,
you know?
I looked at like, when I was doing like, I knew that I work all the time. I don't have much time to cook food sometimes. And I looked at like foods that were like healthy in a way, but gave a lot of protein and stuff because I'm always exercising and shit. So there was like a whole bunch of ones that are like really cheap. They're just shit processed stuff. Or you spend the extra $5 or whatever it is and you can get some really good healthy shit. And at first I was like, oh yeah, the cheap options, whatever. I'll just stack them up. And then eventually I'm like, I don't like these. And I tried the healthier ones, just like a once-off thing. And I prefer them more. Yeah, it costs more, but you do get genuine, really good food from it. Another thing that I really, that I did with soft drink, I used to be a massive soft drinker. Like I would drink so much soft drink. And one of the things that helped me change that was actually soda water. Because it's ass. It does taste like ass, but...
I'd rather drink piss.
But, hear me out, soda water has a very similar taste to what people really thrive off soft drink. The bubbly taste, the you know, that really sweetness taste to it. Soda water's like that. So if you don't like water, you like some type of flavoring or something to having a drink. Like I don't like drinking normal water. I do sometimes if I'm really thirsty, but I preferred flavored water or juice or soft drink or whatever because I enjoy it better. But soda water was something that I did when I was going into healthy. And I eventually lived off soda water and I quit drinking soft drink altogether for like months.
But when you first start taking soda water, doesn't that make you just like resent everything?
Oh, it tastes like piss. When I first had it, I was like, this is revolting. This is disgusting. And then I like kept pushing through. And then I figured out a way to make it taste really nice. Like ice cold soda water is really nice. Like you're not sculling it. You don't try and scull soda water, but it's just really nice to drink when it's ice cold. So that's the only way I can drink it. But it helped me overcome my soft drink addiction. It actually did. Yeah, true story.
I'd rather get kicked in the dick than have to like live off it. But it's something that, you know, speedball my cocktail. Like soda water It's one thing I wish I could have. You know, I wish I could get onto it, but every time I taste it, it tastes like the static off like a TV. Yeah. It is rank.
It's you got to be a weird breed to actually be able to survive the taste of soda water and continue drinking it as an actual thing. That is very true.
I would love to love it. It would be good. It'd be a different thing. It'd be almost like a flex. It'd be like an alpha flex. Like, I drink soda water.
Yeah.
Bubbly water is my shit.
Have you ever tried to drink tonic water? That tastes like shit. That is worse than so. That is worse. That is worse. All right. I've gone over Garry's blog myself, and I found one. Right. This what I was talking about before about the VR porn stuff. Which, and honestly, I didn't really think I would actually find. But it's actually really funny. So I'll read this one. The title is "I jacked off in VR twice." Right. And I'll read it twice. Yeah. He's made sure it's very well known that. Yeah, twice.
Do you reckon he jacked off just like he had a slight rub, or do you reckon he went all the way to the nut? Could you imagine someone wearing a great big fucking headset and just nutting? Like, where you would have to pre-aim where you're gonna go, mate. You can't see.
You might as well get the vacuum out.
You have to lift up.
Just get the do the old American Pie, the vacuum thing, and just fucking VR goggles on, the vacuum's on too. Maybe that's what they did. That's what they meant in American Pie when they used the vacuum. They had the VR goggles on to make it. That better the experience Garry's really hitting the mark. All right, I'll read what he says, right? On Tuesday, March 29th, 2016. He goes, I remember years ago, I was in a chat room talking to a friend about porn. He told me that he only wanks to a video porn and pictures don't do it for him. I mean, I can relate to that. I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
This was in the days when it took 4 hours to download a video, and I thought to myself, what a snobby cunt. And obviously, in time, he was right. Who wanks to photos anymore? I mean, magazines and stuff are very similar. I mean, who does that
anymore?
Everyone's
gone off the page freeze. No one sits on the page freeze unless you drink ales.
I think it came to realization back in 2016, magazines aren't just cutting it anymore. I mean, sure, it's doable, but why would you? I think it's going to be the same for VR porn real soon. I managed to get VR porn working on my Vive this week, having failed in all my attempts previously. What makes me think this guy has gone out and gone, you know what? I ain't giving up. And you know what? I give credit to him. I give fucking
he's gone,
credit.
I really want this.
And he deserves to get off twice after trying that hard. He deserves it. You know?
Do you reckon he was like pre-ready to go? You know what I mean? Like, as he's trying to, he's like, oh, I really want a nut. And he's just like, you know what? Get the fucking VR out, tries to code some shit in. Fucking fuming, like slamming his table, like, bro. I just want to watch it.
He goes, it turned out to be pretty simple. Just download the Steam VR version of TheBigGeee. No idea what that is. Probably some porn game or something. And get some VR porn. Jack in and jack off. No, what? I think he means jack in as in the version of going into VR. So you're jacking.
Like put in the jack in.
I think that's where the con. He's a jokester. Yeah. And then jack off. I get it. Yeah, okay.
Smart man.
This is another one. It says eye contact. This is like a sub thing under the blog, right? You know how sometimes you're walking down the street and a stranger looks at you in the eyes and you momentarily think, fuck. Before one of you quickly looks somewhere else, VR porn gives you that feeling. It's really unsettling at first until your brain convinces itself it's a video. But are these real people or are they actual characters? Like, at what point?
You can get both. I've actually tried it. I made a video on it.
Did you?
That was on the channel about 3 years ago. Yeah.
Why?
So I got my VR and I went, you know what? For a funny video.
Let's go back. It could have been Garry. It's 2016. It could have been Garry.
Me and Garry in the same place. Me and Garry were both down at the same time. But I tried it out and it's one of the weirdest experiences. And to me, it's not a pleasant experience. Because, one, if you look far enough back, the cameraman's right there. He really puts you off. But it's super odd because I didn't pay for a proper experience with it. I just got the downloadable free shit. So you first she'll start talking to you for 10 seconds and then minge. And there's no transition to it. It's just flick straight there. Yeah. Probably a bad one that I got.
Yeah.
But I don't understand people who would use that properly. I think it's too weird at the moment. You know,
at the moment, or like back in 2016, it was weird. Like at what stage?
Back in 2016, it was, hey, this is cool. But then if you're still doing it now, you're a weirdo. You know, because it hasn't progressed much, I don't think. Whereas, like in the future, they'll progress that, won't they?
I did see there was like a robotic doll that was like brought out that could literally talk to you like a human being. It was like a sex doll, and it would.
Didn't Toby on the telly have that? He was gonna use that as like a subscriber or a donation readout, like the fucking mouth would start going.
That would be really cool to program. Actually, that's actually pretty cool.
It was gonna cost him like 10 grand or something, which is like not worth the funny.
Yeah. There's one here called Role Reversal. So obviously he's trying everything out. Like he's actually trying. Yeah, he's stepping into all areas, right? He started off with eye contact, and now he's going straight into role reversal. He goes, I experienced what it's like to be licked out by a man, and then later squat about 30 pints of clear liquid on his back.
I don't know. More context to this.
Oh god, I'm struggling to read this.
In VR?
Yeah. So it must be you become a female character and a male character then dominates you in the game, and you're a female, and then you try. I don't know how you do it to yourself or what you do with your hands to be able to.
I'm imagining Garry like probably with his cacks down, like in the doggy position, looking over himself to see himself being ass-eaten.
By like his dog or something.
Bloody wife walks in, it's up on the bloody monitor, and she's like, what are you doing? He's like, research.
Yeah. Like, where does he do this? Like, obviously at his house, but like, fuck.
But he'll probably be grading this as well, doesn't he? Because I feel like he grades it. Does he grade it in this one?
I don't know. It says you might have thought that you could imagine this stuff previously, but now you can actually experience it. It's unsettling at first, which reading it, it is kind of unsettling, but then you convince your brain that it's fine. A lot of his things is like more of a mental block. I think it is very much a mental block. You know, you're like, this isn't normal in your own head, but you just kind of go with it until it becomes fine, you know? That should leave investigating something, and then it's all okay. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. And then he says something about mess. And this is another time about mess. This is what we're going into. What the hell does he go?
Directly after the VR stuff.
Yeah, so so the title is I jerked off in VR twice, and there's like sub things within the blog that he's done. And the next one is mess. He's like, have you ever jacked off and then not looked at where the cum is going? And maybe when you were younger, into a sock, but nowadays you probably ejaculated into a tissue or a toilet roll. Ejaculating into a toilet roll blindfolded is something you're going to have to get good at, because if you're not going to be throwing a lot of fish smelling keyboards away.
Most of his stuff is about wanking, I swear.
Yeah, he literally says, because if you're not good at aiming, you'll be going to throwing a lot of fish smelling keyboards away.
Oh, you'll love this.
Why does his cum smell like fish?
If you leave it around long enough, it can smell like a fish, can't it?
Oh, I guess so.
This is the one that really got me. This is the best one, I think. So this is called Kitchen Wank, and it's grim, funny, the fact and amazing.
That he's so sexual about a lot of the things that he does. It just doesn't give a fuck. He just writes about them. And it's great.
This is the one, mate. This is the fucking one. He goes, it's a Saturday, January 13th, 2018. Friend told me this story a couple of years ago. I've never really doubted the authenticity of it because he's not a nerd and he barely knows how to turn on a computer. He was living with his wife, kids, brother-in-law, and his in-laws at the time. So the house was full. He'd had a few drinks and he woke up at 3 a.m. and he was thirsty, so he went downstairs. When he got to the kitchen, he saw the laptop there and he thought he'd knock one out. Knock one out in England and most places is like, have a beat.
Yeah.
Because it was risky, but he'd be quiet and quick, and no harm is done. And then these two next fucking paragraphs are the ones. So he turned on the laptop, put his headphones on, and found some porn. It was quiet, so he turned the volume up. And after he jizzed, he took the headphones off and started to clean up, and realized the porn sound was coming from the laptop speakers. And the headphones weren't plugged in.
Oh, no.
And then apparently the same guy told me that after having sex with his wife one night, he took the condom off and put it on the bedside table. In the morning, he'd seen that he'd put it in a glass of water and realised he'd been sipping on his diluted spunk all night.
Mate, that's worse than soda water. Honestly, that's
better than soda water. That's better than soda water. I drink a bloody can of piss. A glass of diluted cum would be the one over soda water. Just don't bubble it.
Holy shit.
I wonder if his mate knows this is up on the blog.
Just giving away his fucking top secrets.
Bloody hell.
That's so good.
This blog is great, though. If you guys haven't seen it, you need to go and read it. There's a load of great things in there.
Oh, he talks about a lot of things.
I think it's really good that he's opened up with all this, but holy shit, some things are just fucking fun.
He goes into about one of them is like the best VR shagging games 3 years after he made the first one. So the man has some experience. Anyone out there willing to try some VR stuff, Gary's got you covered. He goes into there's 3 games he's listed, right? Dominatrix Simulator, Sin VR, it's called Sin VR, and VR Paradise. Now, Dominatrix Simulator, out of all them, probably sounds like the best one. You know?
That's what you're into, is it, G?
Well,
we had Leonardo coming out of his mailman gangbangs.
I'll go briefly over them, right? He said I tried a few porn games on Steam yesterday, right? So he's going in, he's thought, you know what? Some
These are on Steam. Why are they on Steam? Why not on some dodgy website you have to get the incognito man out on?
Steam doesn't give a shit. You know, Steam's is about 10 years outdated. The UI on that thing is fucking old as.
True.
So Dominatrix Simulator says, a badly modeled woman instructs you to do stuff. You respond with nodding or shaking your head and getting into particular poses. Could you imagine at home just the sheer shit?
I love it. Dad.
Obviously, there's no way you could ever stream this shit, hey. Honestly. There's no way you could ever do it.
You wouldn't know if you're a band. You'd be there mid-act, and then you look up and you Twitch channel
down. Yeah. He said there's some animation errors, because that's the main thing. You know, that's what you pay for. You know, that causes her left eye to jolt to the side every now and then. I mean, look, I call that a plus, but you know,
I'm into that. I mean, that's an added feature. That's the DLC.
Once you run through a demo, 5 minutes in, with the weird-eyed woman, you're placed in front of an anime-looking character and told to put the pass phase in from the Patreon page. I think you got to pay for it. So once you get past the demo, it puts you into. So he's tried the free version. So I think
it's a findom. You've got to pay financially into these people.
He said, I don't want to do that, so I didn't see any more. He said, I could see how this could be sexy if you were doing it naked, and it was done well. As it is a voice acting and modeling and graphically performance isn't up there. So he's going into like the animation side to what you would have to do as a human being to make it feel better. Like, I mean, he's given tips for these games. One of them though, he's given a price range and he said it's worth it. So I'm going to go into his price range and what it was worth it. In his eyes, it was worth it. That was VR Paradise. So we'll go into VR Paradise. He said a strip club. You can jump between seats using the destination type teleportation. So if you have a VR where you can jump, you can actually click around. You know, you want a better angle of the the lady on the pole. You can. You can pick glasses and bottles up in the tables, and you can throw them very far. That's actually pretty funny. You can pick up and just start yeeting them around the club.
Or anything.
Yeah, it took a while, but I figured out how to get money out and pointed it at one of the girls. I was asked to pay £20 for lifetime private dances. That's pretty cheap. Lifetime private dances. I didn't. So all I could do was hang out in the main club and put some money in one of the other guys' mouths. What?
He started stuffing money in people's blokes.
Another dude's mouth.
Flex. Yeah, he loves the flex.
The stripper attempted to be different from one another by having different colored hair, different lingerie, and unique accents. In reality, they're all the same height, weight, legginess. I think he means like leg sizes and animations.
Yeah.
I didn't see much because I didn't pay anything, but the boobies and butts move when you touch them with your hands. If you're looking to get horny in a room full of other men, but don't want to run the risk of getting drunk, and getting scammed out of £100 in the hopes that you're going to be hit.
You don't want to run the risk of getting drunk in a strip club, do you?
Going to be hit with a spending limit, where they actually have sex with you. This might be up your street. Update: I paid £20 and it was worth it. It's funny, man.
Vlog, man.
It goes on.
Good.
There's so many different ones about his life, about his kids, about games, about his house, things that went wrong at his house, different games that he liked, the music and stuff. Like, it is really good, man. It is really good vlog. So go check it out. It'll be down in the description below if you guys are still listening and want to listen to another Garry. It is a funny read.
It is good. There's other things that have happened in these last couple of weeks as well that we were looking at. So one of the big ones, and I think this would be like this. I reckon this would split a lot of people, but I reckon we'll see. So Unos Arnes, do you know much about this?
I learned about them through you a couple of weeks ago. Before they announced their thing, I'll let you explain that. But you informed me that it was coming up, and we were both wondering whether or not they'd actually do it. You know?
I like Markiplier. I think Markiplier is an absolute babe. Yeah. And I feel like if I were to put my life in someone I don't personally know, it would be him. I feel like he's a very, very good guy. So what this is basically is Unos Arnes is this channel that was made by Crank Gaming and Markiplier. The idea was they upload a video every single day for a whole year, and then at the end of the year, they delete the whole channel and all of the content with it. Nothing to be seen again. So it is a very interesting situation because financially, that channel was making a lot of money. And at the same time, like, the amount of work they put into it, like, I remember Penguin's talking about it, and he made a very good statement, was that every single video was very good, or very well thought out. It might not essentially be attractive to you to watch, but they were doing all kinds of things. I mean, I can't go and look them up, but I was watching things like they were doing an assault course. They were doing archery learning. They were learning how to do certain things. I think one of their first videos was baking with sex toys. They had a large plethora of like ideas, and then at the end of the year they deleted it. And I think it was probably for them to keep that word on it was amazing to do so.
Especially how well it was going too. Like it had like thousands of viewers when they did I think they streamed the last one and they were doing the countdown and stuff. And then just to see it like completely vanish, it was like because I didn't even watch much of their content, but to see such a channel disappear off the face of the planet like that, and that was them saying goodbye. It was sad, man. I still over Twitter. A lot of people were sad about it. It was a really unique concept to a YouTube channel that I don't think no one's ever done before, and I don't think anyone else will do it again, because I mean, if that's successful, it is financially it's a dumb move to get rid of. But I mean, for them, they were both very successful. And I think for them, it was to do a video every day. I mean, you and I both spoke about this today. It's hard, man, to make videos every day.
Very specific ones as well.
Yeah, like very unique, really smart ideas every day for an entire year. And then to say goodbye to that, I mean, for them, I think it would hit them pretty hard. I think now that it's gone and they're not doing that every day anymore. I mean, they probably want a break. We all do. But I think it'll hit them probably in about a month's time when they're like, man, that was good times, man. That was good times. And I think I went back and
always stay with them.
I said a lot of highlights and stuff, like a lot of highlight videos being put up about it. And they did some really, really awesome content, man. And to see them go out like that, it's great that they went out on a high. I think that's what they wanted to do, was go out on a high and then just end it. And then obviously start their own individual. Well, they already had their own individual stuff, but just continue on with that.
Yeah. This is what I was thinking. Like, so I remember when back at school, you'd have like, you have your set days. You go, right, okay, Monday between 9 and 10, we're doing PE. This time we're doing math. This time we're doing math. I'm thinking like, is this what they did? I don't think they recorded every single day. I feel like they would have had a problem if they recorded every single day. They might have said, hey, on the Saturday, we're going to go and do 3 recordings. Yeah. And then we're going to give them to our editors and they're going to do this. And then in a couple more days' time, we're going to do 3 more recordings and stuff. Like, whether this was done. Because I know, like, I believe it's Amy who was, like, always in charge of most of the planning and stuff. She was the one getting it all kind of set up and whatnot. And they just kind of turned up and they also put their own input in as well. But just to me, it's like, how do you get to that quality of production? You know, like they must have had loads of editors, loads of people working on this. It must have been it must have been expensive.
Yeah,
I would say it must have been expensive. You know,
well, I think financially they would have made. I reckon the channel itself would have covered all the expenses. Then they would have made a profit out of it. I don't think the video for them was mainly for profit. I think they just loved what they did, and you could really see that. You know,
Markiplier is always that. Markiplier is like a golden YouTuber. He is like an untouchable kind of bloke because apart from his voice, his quality and stuff that he puts out is always high. He's always I think he's a daily uploader, or he used to be a daily uploader, or he does it once every 2 days. But his work ethic is nuts. I think he's also like, he's got a master's or some kind of degree in like bio something. I don't know. I think that's just like possible trivia that I know. But yeah,
you see a lot of people who are in the content game who have degrees. Like yourself, you have a degree. You know, Dr. Lupo was a medic. I believe he was. Off the top of my head, he was worked in the ambulances and stuff, I think. It's crazy, man. A lot of people are really smart and they decide to go down the content creation game, even though they've spent years of their life, you know, studying for something, and they found a love for it, man. And you could see that he really does love what he does, you know, and I think, and I think that's what a lot of people was like, it's sad, but I mean, you can still see Markiplier around. He hasn't vanished. Like, you know, he's still around, but the channel itself is going down. But I think it was really cool how they had like the black and white concept at the end. You know, it was really cool to see such a channel hit such a peak and then just vanish, you know, as a YouTuber.
It reminds me of like, so there was something I saw a while ago. I think it was off like Daily Dose of Internet.
Yeah.
And he said about how they're these monks and they spend days upon days creating this really, really precise bit of sand art or something. And it's amazing, looks so good. And then at the end of it, they get rid of it. And I think what the concept is to not invest yourself into materialistic things. You know, don't get caught into this kind of entrapment of material. And I think it's such a cool concept, but holy fuck, would it break you? You know, I think it'd be a really cool idea to actually be able to function like that and not be so absorbed by material stuff. But I wonder how that would be like to actually live like that. You know, whether you'd be more creative because you don't hold attachments to certain styles, you know, or certain creations. Like, that's kind of something I'd like to try and do. I'd like to try and break a mold I've made.
Yeah.
And try and get out of that, you know.
I mean,
but it's a hard thing. I think it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, because what I think it is, like an overview of what you're trying to say, right? You found success in something, right? Like you tried multiple things before Rust, right? But you found success in Ham Simulator. You found success in Rust, trap bases and stuff. And obviously you're known for Rust and that, you know, that one Ham Simulator video that did really well. We always bring that up. But, you know, you found success in that. And I think a lot of people, and I've said this before, fear about making the jump to try and do something again. Try and find that next game that will help, you know, because making the same content in the same game for years, like you have, it does get to a point. And a lot of Rust YouTubers are at this point now where they're like, oh, I'm over this, you know. So they're trying different styles like Among Us or Among Rust and different ways to try and make content. Because
that's gaming in general, isn't it? I think most people are kind of trying to figure out what to break with it.
Yeah, and I think, especially during COVID, I think when you're all you can do is edit right now and make videos. You're making videos the same stuff, and it does get to a point where you're pumping out so much content on the same stuff. You're like, man, I just wish that my community or something would just come with me for one video or two during the week, and we'll do something different and random, and I hope that it would be viewed the same way as my Rust videos would, you know. And I think that's the biggest fear that everyone has, and I think it's a big, hurdle to get over as a content creator, to step away from being a Rust creator to just being a creator, you know. To just being an overall, you make good content, doesn't matter what you put out, you make good content. You know what I mean? I think that's your views are going to drop because you have a fan base around Rust, but I think at the end of the day, you've got to have a really good backing on your video editing skills, the way you make videos or line up videos or line up funny moments and all those kind of things. Fitz is a prime example of how he just knows how to lead into a funny moment. You know, it doesn't matter what he's in or what he does, it's funny, you know, and you're the same way. And I think that a lot of creators are the same way, but they fear that, taking that leap, it's going to cost them more. And if the first one or second one doesn't do well, they'll go back, you know?
Yeah.
I think taking the leap, man, you can always come back, you know?
Taking leaps is the biggest thing, especially within like YouTube. That's the biggest thing, you know? You gotta try and create new, you know, and try new things. I'm trying to find an editor who can do my stuff, which I think I found, which is really good.
That's good.
But yeah, you've gotta give yourself that chance to be creative. And I think just not holding a need to like financial and stuff like that is great. Like I know as soon as I leave here and go to Australia, I might make a couple of videos for a few months.
Yeah.
But I am going to fucking enjoy the whole time I'm gone. You know?
Yeah.
Because I won't go massively into it like I always do, but my time is precious, your time is precious, everyone's time is precious, you know, and you gotta spend it fucking wisely.
Yeah.
Because shit like this happens and you're in a prison and you can't break it out. But yeah, you know, that's one thing that I'm really pushing towards right now is, you know, enjoying the moments, you know. I got to the point where I managed to make myself financially stable where I don't have to give a fuck in general.
Yeah.
And it means I can actually perform good videos and new ideas without feeling like a financial pressure to make videos.
Yeah.
And that's fucking phenomenal. You know, I wish most people can get to that stage where they can just relax because they haven't got to make it. Like, that's something I was thinking the other day as well. It's like when Ninja and Shroud came back to Twitch, they didn't need to.
Nah.
No one needs to. They didn't need to come back.
Nah.
And that's great to see because they're like, hey, I'm a multi-millionaire. I can buy a fucking Bugatti right now and not even hurt my bank.
Yeah.
And that's not me, but that's them. And then, like, you know, I'm not doing that
flex,
great,
bro.
you know?
Weird flex.
You know, and you're kind of like it's good to see them like doing it. They're still doing the same stuff, and it's awesome to see because you're kind of like, hey, like you're above the money. You're like, you haven't gone. You know what? Fuck it. You know, I've got enough money. I can go and do whatever I want now. Do my own normal stuff. Like that's how it'll be at the end of it.
Yeah.
You know, we'll make videos because I fucking love it, and you know all of that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole concept of that channel though it was a big thing and I loved it. I think it was great. I managed to watch a few of them. I didn't manage to watch all of it and I didn't watch it from the start, but I watched significant ones that I liked and you know I respect it. I thought it was really good, super interesting. A lot of YouTubers will learn from it and a lot of people will learn from it who want to be YouTubers and I think it's great. I think it's really, really good.
Yeah. Speaking of loving content, do you see Pope Francis liked an Instagram photo of a butt?
Did he? Pope Francis, I'm assuming, is literally the Pope Francis.
Yeah. So he's getting backlash at the moment on Instagram because he may or may not have been on his alternate account and or his main account and accidentally liked a butt pic of a chick in a schoolgirl outfit. Yeah, bro. You know, it comes when you're in quarantine for so long. Even Pope Francis, you know, does get that urge to hit the like button once in a while and managed to accidentally like a Brazilian model's photo of her ass in a schoolgirl outfit. And hats off to him. I think it's great, but you know.
Dude just wants a beat.
He's getting a lot of backlash. Apparently, it's like Instagram's questions are like Instagram. They think that it's been like a bug or whatever. But how can Pope Francis? Yeah, you see the picture. I mean, if you look it up,
good taste.
Yeah,
he has good taste.
I give it to him, mate. Hey, I'm not judging. I'll be right there with you.
The caption. He liked it, and there's the caption on it is, "I can teach you a thing or two." Devil looking face. Can't wait for you guys to see my October shoot on the site. I bet he can't wait. He's like, fuck, the Vatican's investigating me and I need to see the October photo.
Could you imagine the amount of people that'll start cropping like reply messages from the Pope underneath it? Like, you know, like you're going to get it like the devil or something like that. Just real funny shit. People will be out there just photoshopping the shit out of that now. But I think it's great. I really think it's funny. I think it's great. But apparently Instagram's under huge backlash because they think it's been forged or Pope Francis trying to cover his own ass. Literally cover his own ass.
Someone else's ass. Do you reckon he was like, he didn't realise like you couldn't double tap to zoom in and he accidentally liked it? He's like, fuck.
Fuck, this ain't Twitter. Shit.
Yeah. Or he went to go and click the comment button to be like, you're a sinner, and then actually liked it. Imagine when he did that, he must have had a little rock back in his poke chair and just gone, I fucked up. I really fucked up for a lot of us.
Could you imagine? It's like him and all the Pope mates, just like, you know, when you're like 7, like a kids, and you're all looking at
mates,
yeah. Well, you know, when you're like young and your mates are all looking at those magazines, the images we were talking about before, like magazines just aren't doing it, and you're showing your mates your porno mags, or you're showing your mates your older brothers porno mags or whatever, and you got your Pope Francis, all the popes just like going through the top secret thing on Instagram, going through models' photos, and they accidentally like it. And they all look at each other like, fuck.
Yeah.
We're all fucked here, boys. You know? Pope Francis just stepped up to the plate and took the blame. You know? Good on him. Took one for the team. Took one for the boys. You know? All the other boys are starting out there deleting all their alt accounts. You know? Don't want anything to do with that shit.
I like he's not following anyone, so it must have come up on his random feed and it's been like, I'm down for this. This is good. This is the shit.
I wonder what the excuse is. Like, what? I wonder what official response, because apparently he got like, as soon as it got aired out that he liked it. I don't know how people find this shit out. Like, they must follow everything he does. I mean, there'd be people out there that literally, when he likes something or comments on something, that people would see it. So as soon as it comes up, it's like Pope Francis likes, there's something about the devil, and everyone's like, what? You know?
I reckon there was a lot of like dropped eyeglasses. That came through.
Yeah. Am I?
Wait, what?
Is this fake? You know? Is this fake? What the hell's going on here?
Why am I seeing naked butts on my thing from France?
But I thought, when I heard about it, I laughed so hard. I thought it was the greatest thing ever. I think this year needs that. Pope Francis, you the man. You are the fucking man, dude. The one guy who's is classified as a fucking sin. I classify it as nothing but a blessing, mate. It is. Hands down, he is blessed. I mean, imagine being that model. Like, imagine being that model. I mean, like, even Pope Francis blesses this ass. Like, even he has, you know, hands up, you know, bless that ass with a like, you know.
The only person who's made the Vatican Pope just go like,
yeah,
naughty.
Oh, you know, what I do to be out of quarantine these days, you know, fuck.
Think you're in lockdown? I can't even touch my own penis. Do you reckon they check up? Oh, mate, that's a fucking thing, isn't it? Do they go, are you beating off? No, I'm not. No. I'm really not. Just seen you liked this picture.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't me. Oh, it was not me.
I haven't been on Instagram in 3 days, you know.
Insta what? I don't know what that is. I only have instant oats, you know. I got no fucking thing for that.
Is it the microwavable stuff?
Yeah, what's that? What's Grand?
Is it
Grand? Nah, Instagrams.
Yeah.
Sming it up.
Is that the healthy option with the microwavable shit we were talking about earlier? Instagram.
Oh, mate. What a dude.
Like, he just got caught out, and I just think, fuck, mate. Surely, I wonder if it would actually get any, like, actual political backlash, like, to think that...
When did he get kicked out?
You reckon?
Get kicked out, wouldn't you?
You reckon he'd lose being the Pope for that? Fuck.
Get out of here, you dirty bastard. Stop beating off in the Vatican. Thought you were going to the bathroom for too fucking long. Trying to pull that shit on me.
Oh, shit, dude. It is funny, man. I think it's great. I think, fuck, man. I hope it. I'm interested to see what actually happens. I am, you know. I am interested to see what happens, but I think, fucking hell, he's done well. He's done well, you know.
Yeah.
But what?
There's when I think the thing that things can come back to me at the moment is I keep seeing all of this stuff about Pokemon, mate. It's still coming out. And more people are buying them. More people are going up. Do you reckon it's gonna happen? Like, isn't like Penguin's doing things like this as well? He's like opening them up on stream.
Yeah.
There's like it's been like a month or two.
Moist critical.
People just getting into this Pokemon vibe.
Yeah.
They're loving it.
Bro, it's great. I fucking love it. I mean, it brings back a lot of memories for me. Like, I never got into box openings and shit. Couldn't give a shit. But I started going into, ever since obviously the Logan Paul thing. We said it was an awesome thing for charity and stuff, and it was an awesome way to bring out people's young sides and promote, you know, something fun for the year. That was really cool to see, and a lot of creators got involved with that, with buying packs and whatever. The same guy, there's a lot of videos out there, but the same guy who gave Logan Paul that the first edition pack, he set him up to buy it. He calls himself I believe it's the collectible guru or something along those lines. And he's got a lot of backlash at the moment, right? Because ever since that first one with Logan Paul, someone else was like, hey, we want to do something similar. We want to buy a first edition pack. We want to open it up live on stream, blah, 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 blah. But what happened was people really didn't know much about this guy before Logan Paul. And not even the Pokemon community really knew much about him either because he wasn't really into Pokemon. He kind of came into the market, boosted it, made a bunch of money, and then wants to kind of leave. So people are calling him a scammer, right? So he goes into doing this interview about packs. You know, this new guy, he goes, I'm going to sell this new first edition pack. Making bank, obviously. Somewhere along the line, he's making bank from doing this one sale, right? So he flies out to sell this first edition pack. I think he didn't realize that he was going to be interviewed and sit down and presented with, present the box live on stream, cameras everywhere, with like a professional grader, which is I think it's Leonhardt, the one of the biggest Pokemon creator guy who opens up a bunch of packs. He was there. As soon as he realizes that he's on camera about to give this box over, the first thing he says is, "Hey guys, if it's fraudulent, if it's a fake pack, I'll give you money back. I'll give you money back straight away." Like, you know when you know what? Yeah.
You're like, okay, bro.
Like, so straight away, he's like covering his own ass, right? And they open this pack live on stream, and everyone's like straight away, like, this guy's a scammer, this guy's this, and this. And even the guy that hangs out with Anything for Views. We spoke about him the other day, actually. The one who does a podcast called Max Mofo. So Max Mofo was in the channel giving Collectible Guru absolute shit. Because
love Max Mofo.
Max Mofo is a massive Pokemon collector and loves it. Yeah. And so he is straight up just giving it to this Collectible Guru guy before the pack's even open, going, I can guarantee 100% that they're fake. And sure enough, they go through all the testings of the pack before it's opened, and they open it, and straight away they notice this crease. The crease is from when the packs are open and you fold down the lid so that the logo flips up so it opens up to a normal pack. That was already folded. And they're like, whoa, hang on, this is not right. Then they start to go through it and start to notice that some of the packs are already opened. The way that the packs are lined up in first edition packs, it goes in a certain order. Like pack pictures are in certain orders, and they're all, everything's the same. They were different, they're all randomized, they were completely random. And when they opened up some of these cards, they were from cards from 2020, like this year. Like, not even first edition shit. So
7th and 9th, 20 edition.
Yeah. So it was a big thing, and a lot of YouTubers brought out a whole bunch of like shit about it. And I thought it was great. Shit. This guy's got aired out for being the biggest scammer. I mean, he did sell.
So fucking shit.
Yeah, he did sell Logan Paul a legit one, but I think in my eyes, I think he did the first one so he could, get his name out there. And then now he did a second one, and then he was like, fuck. And now no one's buying shit off him. In hindsight, if you go down the slippery slope of what he did end up giving the guys a first edition pack later down the line. But it went through a totally different outlet. And if you watch the videos on it, you can see a whole bunch of YouTubers have brought up all the fucking, picked apart everything he said and everything he did before it, even became a thing. And he was a really dodgy guy. And I thought it was pretty funny that, he was covering his own ass at the collectible. And Max Mofo is in there just fucking giving him hate, bro.
Have you seen Max Mofo's collection, by the way?
It's massive. I have, yeah.
It's fucking huge.
Yeah.
I don't know how addicted he's... I don't know if it's an addiction, but I think it's more like he's just an avid collector. But I don't know how much profit he's probably made out of all of this, but there is some nutty stuff in his collection.
I reckon he's the
he
type
must
of
have
guy.
Almost quite a few million.
I reckon he's the type of guy who can never sell his cards.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
Those like hoarders who just like nah. I have multiple of these cards and they're worth bank. I'm never selling them.
Yeah.
But I also seen the way he some of his cards that he has, like he has like the really good ones. All nice and pristine, PSA gradings and all that kind of stuff done to it. And then you've got like ones that are like old first edition ones. He's got them like in a massive pile in a box, just fucking stored under his bed, just ripped up. He doesn't give a fuck, but he's got a lot of cards, man. He's a big collector of not only Pokemon but other cards and stuff as well. So
it's not odd. It's great to see. It's great to see like
good investment.
He keeps them in such condition. Yeah. It's nutty. It is proper nutty. It is crazy. The only other thing that I think has also come up this week as well is they're not doing a YouTube rewind this year. They don't want to do it.
I did see that Mr. Beast was going to bring one out.
I feel like people are going to do their own. I feel like someone's going to be like, the real, like they always do it every year, the real YouTube rewind. What would be the things that come up in the rewind? Like if you,
it would have to be
bring up the main things.
Eunice Annis, whatever, that one would have to be in there. Those guys did that would have to be a massive part of it. I think if those guys aren't in it,
I think they should end it on that. They should literally end it on that.
With the timer going down, that'd be really cool. I think that'd be a really cool ending with the timer hitting 0 and then like it just like the video just ends. That would be cool. I think that'd be a really cool rewind. I mean, there's a lot of things that have happened. I mean, obviously, there's like a lot of Fortnite tournaments and stuff will be on there, or
a big
creators. Among Us,
huge onto that.
Yeah, Fall Guys, another one. You know
what? I was thinking the other day, what is YouTube really as a platform like controlled by? Is it controlled by gaming? Because whenever it's like a YouTube rewind, I feel like I'm looking at it in terms of a gamer and not of like everything. Like James Charles would be on there, and obviously he's not really gaming. He does it, but like it's not his thing. I was thinking that the other day, like, what is YouTube really? Like, if someone comes to YouTube, what do they first see? Do they see people being like, hey, this is like a place where people come and do art, or a place where people go and upload like film, or is it like gaming? Because I can never quite tell it. You go on the trending, and what are the things they've got up here on trending?
Let's have a look.
It's like they've got music, gaming, news, films, fashion, and beauty. Like those are their top 5. You
come up on my main page. So there you go.
Do actually?
Yeah, from the video you actually just uploaded now 6 minutes ago.
Oh, is it? Oh, shit.
So shout out a little bit.
Damn.
A little bit of shout out. Hey, at least it's been promoted, my man. At least it's been promoted, which is a solid.
At least it's come out.
6 minutes. At least I know the notifications coming through. But yeah, go check out Oblivion's new video, guys. Go check it out.
That was a video I recorded in a day, edited in a day, uploaded it the next day.
Man, it's a fucking machine.
That hasn't happened in a long time.
Machine.
A long time. I can't remember the last time I ever did something like that. Gave it the double.
Crazy.
Bloody hell. Yeah, it's mad to think one came out the other day and then it's like, boom, next video.
Yeah.
It's like, what? As of when? If I can keep that style going, that'd be fantastic.
I reckon you were saying about the platform side of things for YouTube. What is YouTube? And I honestly think it's a lifestyle channel. Like, for everyone involved, in my eyes, it's a lifestyle platform that you can literally upload.
Everything.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle thing, man. For your wacky kinks to your fucking down hardcore collectible shit. There's an audience. If YouTube really brings out something, it's an audience there for everything. There's you're not alone with you're into. For us, you got me into Lockpicking Lawyer. That was a fun thing to get into.
Right.
Fun, isn't it? I've never unlocked a shit in my life, but to watch him unlock locks, it's therapeutic. It's nice. It's just and the way he does it is really cool. So it's not just stuff that we do on day-to-day basis or create it. It's just little side things like that where you've got Lockpicking Lawyer just doing something simple as unlocking something. You got Penguins talk about his everyday life and the way he talks about things and the way, he's very articulate with the way he talks and it's very funny and it's crude sometimes. And that's just how he is. And we were both saying that how awesome it would be to make content of just talking about shit like he does, I think it's great.
It'd be so fun. It'd be great. I love the idea. Yeah, I'm back on it. I feel like it's a lifestyle thing, I feel like you create your persona, you create your channel, you really nail down to it, and you get a good audience that wants to support you and watch of everything as well. I think it's fantastic. It's something that won't be beaten, and I hope YouTube doesn't get beaten. We've adjusted to it, we've adapted to it, we've had all the stuff going down for it. And yeah, I don't think it will be beaten.
I think they need, in my eye, I think YouTube needs a new website update. Like, I think
they need to work on their live stream massively.
Yeah, their live streaming is a massive issue at the moment. Like, to find live streams, you want to find live streams, you'll look into the ways of finding it. But there should be like a full section, like Netflix has like categories. They have like fucking videos, top videos of the day, and it's all listed, and you find that shit so easy by just going down the page, and it's got like, across all these different things. And I think YouTube, the UI or the website's a little bit outdated, just the way it looks. I think it could have a cleaner look to it. I definitely think YouTube's a little bit outdated. But I think, they have such a big platform, and I think they worry about criticism of making such a drastic change, because it would cost a lot of money to make such a drastic change. So I do think that YouTube are like, well, people are liking the way it is now. Let's not change it, because everyone's going to whinge about something. Let's not change it. But I do feel like, in my eyes, YouTube does need an update, a refresher, something a little bit more appealing to the eye, a little bit easier to find shit. And I think it'd be a lot better, because like clicking on your profile, for instance, and having to go down to like switch accounts or YouTube Studio just to find your dashboard kind of thing, I think that could be done a little bit better. Managing accounts and stuff. There's a lot of side little things you got to go down to find certain analytics or whatever you need to do. You got to click on a video to edit. So it's a little things like that. It's a little bit of a process to go down and find. I think they could tweak as a creator side of things, a lot easier to manipulate and find ways to edit or adjust things on your page would be a lot cooler. But from a viewer's perspective, I think, just an update of, top 10 videos at the moment, things you might like section, all those kind of things. I mean, they do have that. They have history, library, your videos and stuff. But I think, just like I said, I think the bars and stuff are a little bit outdated.
It needs a little bit of work. Yeah. It needs a little bit of work, and it'll be just there.
Yeah.
I still think YouTube needs to understand that Twitch is not competition.
No.
If they do it right. Twitch will never compete with YouTube if YouTube nail the live streaming section.
Yeah.
Because 100%. Twitch is its only thing. Twitch only has itself to compete with. YouTube doesn't. But they need to go, hey, I'm going to chuck a load of money at some people to make our live streaming section quality. And then that's it. Get everyone over. Facebook. I feel like Amazon are going to sell Twitch. I really feel it.
Yeah.
I think they'll sell it.
After this DMCA stuff, 100% they will. I reckon give it 6 months. 6 to 7 months. And I reckon they'll sell it.
I could see it in the next year.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll make a lot of money out of it. They've made loads of money out of it so far. I mean, it would be weird of them to get rid of, because it does make a load of money for them. But I'm on that website, and it's changed. It's just adverts after adverts after adverts, and it's just pure advertising.
It's not.
And it's all Amazon stuff.
It's not enjoyable to watch, man. I
can't watch Twitch. Yeah,
it's
unwatchable.
I was a big Twitch, streamer every day.
Yeah, you're a big part of it.
I loved Twitch for years, man. Fucking loved that website. I was watching people all the time on it. I fucking, you used to watch me in the shower. I did the same thing, watching people in the shower. It's not sexual or anything, but
I used to watch him in the shower whilst he was on Twitch. I was on Twitch. He was streaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
I was in the shower watching him.
Yeah.
Playing games on Twitch. Yeah.
But
I watch you in the shower.
It was more of a support thing, right? Because it was fun just to listen to, and you always get about today. And that was how we used to live our lives, because it was really good. But now Twitch isn't the same. Twitch is not. And I think now is a perfect time with all the Twitch on a level of like DMCAs. They're on hot water right at the moment. They're up and down with what they're doing about it. I think this is a perfect time for YouTube to just fucking step up their game and go, here's a platform. I mean, they're probably working on it now. They probably will bring it out, but here is an update to our live streaming stuff. It's more accessible. You can go live, very similar to the way you could do it on Twitch. And it'll be an easier transition, all that kind of stuff. I think the day they do that, Twitch is dead. Twitch is fucking dead.
Yeah, I feel, because people, you got Dr. Disrespect on YouTube now. People will go to you. It makes no sense why you would stream on Twitch. I'm almost thinking of streaming back on YouTube. Fuck the partnership. I don't give a shit about it anyways, Doesn't really do much for me.
Nah.
But the only thing I would ever request from Twitch is they honor the fact that there are big influencers coming from other websites to theirs, and they need to know that. The same way Twitter needs to know that.
Yeah.
Twitter needs to make official accounts for people who are big on other platforms. I don't want to be that guy, but my account should be verified.
Yeah,
because there's a big following on YouTube, and people will be looking for a dedicated person. They shouldn't be like, oh, it's a system, that only goes to special people. It should be like, no, we have a verified system for verified accounts. Verified people. They need to get rid of the whole kind of honorable of like, oh yeah, you're verified, you're really good up in our society. It should be more like, you're verified for security of users.
Yeah.
You know, the same way Twitch should have a partner system for their Twitch streamers who are dedicated and an influencer possible thingy for people who are recognized on other platforms. They could say, hey, our partners are people who we would specifically look after, who we want on our website. But if you have a big following elsewhere and you do use our website, we'll honor you.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do. They really need to do that.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, I'm a partner on Twitch, and I don't like Twitch. I think Twitch is an arsehole of a place to be.
Yeah.
And personally, I don't think that it's, you know, it's not something that I would say, hey, this is the best platform going. I just want to make sure that people are recognized for what they do. You know?
Yeah.
If you got an influence somewhere and you do have a thing that can get people scammed, like people have been scammed using my name before, they should be verified accounts. You know, and that's wrong of Twitch to not use, wrong of Twitch to not like give a thing over. The same way Twitch should, YouTube should do it for Twitch. Summit1G, if he wanted to upload a YouTube channel, he should say, hey, this is my Twitch, got a massive following. Can we accredit my YouTube account? They go, yeah, sure. You know. Yeah. And that's how it should be done. I feel like they want to honor their own people, but they need to honor everyone.
Yeah.
Because then it's a good thing to do, just for the safety of users.
Yeah.
I think
Twitch is
gonna get sold.
Twitch is on the downhill slope now. Twitch has peaked already. I don't think there's going to be a peak Twitch ever again. I think Twitch is on the downhill now. I think there's no coming back for Twitch to the level that they were at. You know, at the point of like Ninja being on there, Shroud being on there. I don't think they'll ever get to that point again. Maybe hence why there's so many ads now to try and make back the revenue they're losing from all that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe the advertising is because it's their last push, get the Christmas thing over and done with.
Yeah.
Come February, March, sell out. I feel like that's a real possibility because like right now it's very beneficial for people streaming on there. It's shit if you're a viewer. You know, it's very shit if you're a viewer because I was subscribed to quite a few people, but I'm just like, you know, I can't keep giving all this money to people that I watch every so often and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I guess that came out really wrong, but more kind of like, I just can't watch a stream to watch the stream. Like I'm like, oh, Summit1G streaming, you know, I watch him maybe once or twice a month.
Yeah.
I go there and it's advert. And an advert to another advert. And it's supposedly like the people are making the adverts go out themselves, but they're not because they're balls deep into a fight. There's no way they're slapping an advert button, you know?
There was
For me, I'm like...
There was a video I seen of a guy doing a speed run. And it was like a fucking 20-hour speed... I can't remember what it was. It was like something long-ass speed run. And he got to the final boss, and as he killed it, everyone got an ad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And then he's like off the chair, just like by the time it came back, he's like hugging everyone. Like he just broke the record and was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like they got a fucking ad.
Advertised.
It's crazy. I mean, you couldn't have advertised it better. Like it would have been the best fucking viewership, but I mean, it's still a dog move.
Yeah.
You know, I just think the fact that they're not even the time of these ads too are massive. Like I remember going, it was like a 3-minute ad. I was like, what?
YouTube does have this as well. I saw a 25-minute ad on YouTube.
Fuck? A fucking 3-minute ad. Like, and it was one I couldn't skip. I couldn't skip it. It was a 3-minute long ad, and I couldn't fucking... There's nothing worse than an ad you cannot skip. Fuck me.
Yep.
But I don't give a shit. It counts down from 5, and I'm already punching my fucking phone, just waiting for it to fucking skip. Like, but it only just started the timer. It says, you know, it'll say the countdown will start soon. I'm just fucking spamming the shit out of that button for that millisecond that it gets. I'm fucking out of there. Like, I don't want to watch that shit.
All I see is the fucking Audible ad all the time. I'm like, I know it.
Yeah.
I know it.
I don't give a fuck about Harry Potter. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about the Philosopher's Stone.
Bitch.
You know?
I get it. At least change your adverts up. Stop giving me this crap.
Speaking of Audible, guys, our newest sponsor is Audible Online. The podcast can be held there. Good music to your ears. Yeah.
The one.
Yeah. No, it is. I mean, I think, man, Audible, yeah, that was... Repetitive ads.
I think the advertising is just too much.
Repetitive ads, yeah. It's horrible, man. It is horrible.
I don't mind advertisements. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind advertisements because that's what I live off, really. You know? But at the same time, really don't put adverts in. Like, I try and keep my videos to 4 adverts, you know? Very beginning, 2 midway, and then one at the end, depending on how long it is.
Yeah.
You know? But really, it's like when I'm trying to watch someone and I'm just like advert. I had to buy YouTube Premium actually. I'm not going to sit on YouTube's boat completely on this one, but I had to buy YouTube Premium because I'm getting too many adverts. You know?
You're making too much money,
I watch a lot of people. That's it. That's it. You know, so I've got to get that premium in. But I feel like premium's good. The only benefit is I don't have to use ad blocks and stuff. And it also goes towards creators. So I'm like, you know what? It does help out a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe if Twitch did that, Twitch goes, hey, we can give you, if you pay this a month, like, I don't know, £15 a month, we're going to give you 4 subscriptions you can give across content creators you want. And then extra money or whatever, we're going to put into going to just people in general, like to fund adverts, and you don't have to watch the adverts.
I think it should go off like a thing where it's like watch time. If you're a subscriber and you're watching on someone's channel for a certain amount of time, I think you should get paid for that if you have premium. I could see that being a favor because then you want your creators then to promote the premium because then you're making money off how long premium accounts watch you for. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that'll be a really good way to push it. You know, and then you buying premium, it's fine, and you're not having to subscribe to about fucking 20 different creators that you really love because that's what I do. I feel like shit
Helps
because I subscribe to 20 to 30 people a month, right? And then so some people it's a lot of money, but you know I'm in a position where I can do that, and it's great for me. But I get to a point where I'm having to unsubscribe from one and go through the process of unsubscribing from each one, and then go and start again and go back through other channels and subscribe to them. And then I got to a point now where I'm like I'm subscribing and never going on the platform. As much as it's good to the creators who do that, like my $2.50. You know, to them, it isn't much. And Twitch will take $2.50 and it's more to them than what it is to the creator. So, you know, I'm just like, I actually got rid of all my subscriptions, even to my own channel. I stopped subscribing to my own channel because when you have a automated mod, you subscribe your mod so your mod can then use emotes of your own in the chat for such things as automated messages, right? I canceled that because I don't stream anymore. And I got to a point where I'm like, fuck Twitch, you know? Fuck Twitch. I mean, I was subscribed to your fucking YouTube. I was subscribed to your YouTube channel, actual paid $5 a month when you hadn't even for like months.
Which is, it's so pointless subscribing to a YouTube channel. That's the one thing I'd love to change if they could actually make that a better thing than what it is. People's name in the comments should be highlighted. It should be a section where you can go members to the top. You know?
Yeah.
I think that'd be great. It'd be a great idea. But I think actually thinking about it, Twitch should offer the thing of ad-free viewing for a certain price, and the addition of subscribing to people as an extra. Okay, so you go right. I'm going to pay £5 a month for ad-free viewing across all of Twitch, but I can't use emotes and I can't get past the whole subscribers only thing.
Yeah,
I think they should still do that so they can honor people.
Yeah,
but they need to sort these adverts out now because the only people I can watch are people who aren't affiliated, which is like gambling, which I don't really watch anymore. I don't watch casinos anymore because I've kind of gone completely off Twitch. But, you know, it's like, it's hard to view as a viewer. And a new time viewer turning up will watch a few adverts and then get annoyed. You know, they need to offer some kind of way around it because, like, yeah, I know you want to make your adverts, but just like give us a plan that will work for it. Surely me turning up 100 times a month isn't going to be worth £5.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of actual advert revenue, but, you know, it will give people an option. Give them a thing whilst protecting your subscription thing with actual channels. You know, but it is how it is.
Yeah.
I think that's how it is, really.
Yeah.
We'll get there at some point. It'll be interesting where Twitch goes and interesting what YouTube
I think
does,
YouTube, the day that YouTube steps up, bro, I might come back to streaming.
I'm tempted to go back to YouTube streaming. I'm worried because everyone knows that when you stream on YouTube, your views go down, but that didn't need to happen the other day. Just upload Fallout 4 on a Rust video.
Yeah, that's
you know?
That's still mind blowing.
That's still phenomenal. Still phenomenal.
But I think I think the day that YouTube does bring back streaming, I think I might come back. I left and you left. I think we both left Twitch around the same time because of how they were treating creators and the way they handled situations on Twitch. And we both had disagreed with it. We didn't like it the way they're doing it, and we both slowly stepped away from it. I completely stopped. You completely stopped pretty much and stream every now and again. But I think the day they come to YouTube, I think people will definitely jump. 100%. Those who have a following on YouTube that will jump. I mark my words, they will fucking jump. And then YouTube will be it is already the most viewed content platform on, so I think it'll be nothing but fucking, because YouTube pay you off viewership, the amount of views you get a month, right? So Twitch doesn't do that. Like, there's no money there. They're fucking making all the money in the world. YouTube is a good way for, I mean, you used to make a lot more money back in the day, like from views or whatever, but they've always changed it a lot over time for YouTube. But I think now YouTube is a really good way to make money. If you can get off the ground, if you're a half decent YouTuber, like you're a half decent streamer, you're not making much money, Yeah. But if you're a half decent YouTuber, you're making some money, like actual sustainable money. And I think YouTube is definitely the better financial choice. And that's what I did when I left Twitch, went to YouTube. I mean, my YouTube channel isn't doing much, but I do a lot of stuff involved with YouTube, managing, sponsorship stuff. And there's these are sustainable ways it's a legit sustainable way to make money. And people will sponsor YouTube videos more than sponsor live streams. And that's where I really divide YouTube between Twitch, because it's way more sustainable with sponsorships for videos than sponsors just going out and trying to sponsor a stream. So 100%.
Right. Well, I think we have absolutely beaten it.
Yeah.
With this one.
We're back, boys. We are back.
We are back. We should be back on next week as well.
Yeah.
Should be back on next week as well.
Yeah, definitely.
We will keep cracking with it and keep going with it.
Yeah.
Enjoying it. I think at some point we'll do a little roundup as to like the whole year and stuff. But we'll
I think maybe we'll do that when you come over. You go. I'd
love to do
when
that.
You come over and we'll do like a thing. I'll set up a studio downstairs here, and we'll fucking sit at a desk, and we'll do like a side by side, get pissed for an hour and talk shit. I think it'd be really cool. Or even who knows? We might even do a live 1 hour podcast when you're here talking shit, and we might even go off viewers' comments.
Imagine.
Viewers' comments. I think that'd be cool. That'd actually be a really cool idea. All right, guys, if you guys enjoyed the channel, enjoy the podcast, make sure to check out the description down below.
Watch the latest video on both our channels.
Yeah, Brett's pumped with the content out. There's a few this week, mate. You got a good a good hour of content there. So make sure you go check out Oblivion on YouTube and Twitter, and obviously the TheBigGeee myself across YouTube and Twitter. And if you want to keep up to date with both of us on the DownUnder podcast on the YouTube channel, we're also on Spotify if you're watching on YouTube, and of course our Twitter page, the DownUnder Show. So you can see all the updates, and if we do have future guests, we'll comment on there, or any updates that we're doing with the podcast. If you really want to keep up to date, go check that out. Thank you again for listening. Much love.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one. Get laid. Unless you're underage, I know. And definitely not.
That'll wrap it up.